Good day. My name is Moenieba. I'm a full professor at the University of Western Cape, working at the Institute for Poverty, Land and Agrarian Studies. It is a great pleasure and honor, and I'm humbled to be speaking to you from South Africa, more particularly from Cape Town. I'm a social scientist. My research focuses mainly on small-scale fisheries and their interaction on conservation and marine protected areas. My methodology that I use as a researcher is that I really want to be part of the research, and I want the community to be part of the research. So it's basically participatory action research that I work alongside with them, and I work with them, and we together look at how to address issues around conservation. But this also informs my thinking tools, it informs my activism, and it also informs my policy work. My input into this forum is mainly on climate protection, and climate protection in South Africa has a particularly apartheid legacy in terms of fortress conservation, where marine protected areas have been declared mainly as a means of exclusion to preserve than to conserve, to create pristine areas for white people to come and play free from poverty and free from local people. We've created many marine protected areas along the coast, and these are the Wit Nature Reserve in the Indian Ocean, close to the Atlantic Ocean, Tsitsikamma Nature Reserve, Dwezakebe, and also Isimangaliso World Heritage Site. These are spectacular beauty, unspoiled areas. It is pristine, and but these areas cannot be free from people, and people were displaced. They were lost their place, their spiritual places, their access to food, and the access to livelihoods. And in Dwezakebe and in Isimangaliso, there were cases where conservation officials basically shot and killed fishers for accessing their livelihoods. One of the main challenges that communities have told me currently that are facing them is the fact that protected areas are disenfranchising them from access to their rights, access to the land, access to the food, and it's one of the biggest challenges that one have in South Africa. I think it is very important that conservation is really more important for people who derive a livelihood, because if they do not conserve, then the livelihood would not be there in future. But also, if laws are not allowing them to fish or to access resources, you will see people would engage in illegal activities, and in most cases, conservation has criminalized people's livelihoods. I think it is time to rethink and to rethink how we think about conservation and conservation for the future. And I think that I want to make two particular points here. I think it's important that we disrupt, we transform, and we renew conservation, and that we must think about conservation, that we allow people to be part of nature, but we also need to allow nature to flow more into cities. I think it's also important that we will then find that some places will become more human, and some places will be, and some areas will become more wilder when we do this. we also need to rethink and transform the economy and the inequality and the pressure on the planet in terms of the drive for efficiency, for fossil fuels. And I think it is important that we start thinking about disrupting and reimagining financial flows, that we also align some of the social welfare goals of basic income grant to link that to a conservation income grant. And these are the kind of two issues that I would like to leave with you and to think and maybe to think of. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye-bye.